Peace, even amidst all the conflict. Peace. Today is Tuesday, 1st of the month, October 1st, 2013, and it's Tuesday Newsday, one of significant and very great historic significance. So we want to go ahead and put this video up for public record. If you tuned in to yesterday's message, which I do appreciate, I said that I want to be taking more of a behind the scenes approach and providing support. And those of you that are on the social media taking a look at the show, or you can see that in effect. But today I want to go ahead and just drop this quick video so that you can see face to face. We're going to keep it grassroots and let you know what's pimping with the pimping and keep everything all the way authentic. So in times like these, which I guess we can consider as uncertain, I would have to say that it's best to play it by the book. You got to go back to the old-fashioned roots, basic blocking and tackling. So in this regards, it's going to be ask, and ye shall receive; seek, and ye shall find; knock, and the door shall be open. So what I'm seeking and finding, interestingly enough, knocking on as far as the door, and what I'm actually asking for is leaders. And this post is the difference between leaders and laggers. So I don't necessarily consider a person that's a follower a lagger, but I do have my own definition of lagger. Everybody knows what a leader is, but I want to speak on laggers real quick just to say that that's not what I'm seeking. That's not what we're seeking. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for leaders. So at this point, I'll go ahead and give my own definition of lagger. A lagger, in my opinion, is a person who, when you really look at it, the majority of the things that they do is really just a reaction to try to keep up with something that they see other people doing or other people have done. Everything that they do is an attempt to stay caught up, and their whole lives are spent pretty much trying to stay caught up. Call it a fit in type of approach. And I found, just in general, because I do study the social media in depth, it's a common, I guess, chronic situation. If you ask them why they do what they do, they generally don't really have an answer even for themselves, other than it's just what you do. It kind of points back to what we were talking about to each other yesterday about popular. They really don't have any reason why they do what they do, other than the fact that it's just what you do. But why do you do it? Post pictures on Facebook. Why do you do it? It's just because of what you do. Post status updates. Why do you do that? Just because of what you do. I don't know if people are still doing the check-in on Foursquare or just letting everybody know where you're at, but why do you do that? Well, it's just what you do. Why do you put hashtags with phrases that really don't link to anything other than a thought, reshaping your thought? That's just because of what you do. But between us as friends, or again as foes, communicating, being transparent, the reason is none other than seeing somebody else do it. So you call it a Mr. Me Too, Mrs. Me Too type of approach. And that's not what we need. That's not what we're searching for. That's not what we're asking for. At this point in time, it's very serious that we go ahead and separate the leaders from the laggers. So the focus and the shift and concentration is on the leaders. And I'm only opening it up just to speak on it face to face. That's doing something different. I want to see more people doing this as well. The reason I'm opening it up, not to judge, but it's more along the lines of something very significant. The reason why the government is actually shut down today, partially, people not getting their pay the way they're supposed to, dysfunction in government. It's not necessarily dysfunction in government. The government comes from the people, and you can tell the tail and look at the head. The tail tells on the head. So it's heads or tails, and the head reflects the body. So pretty much right now, I guess it's armchair psychologist is people's fear and reluctance for change. That's what the president promised. This guy right here. I got my shirt on today. I'm gonna go ahead and walk outside. Had a little notice and got some emotional response, but I want to perhaps make up something that asks to care just to let people know we got it on deck. It's here for you. Uh, Provide a solution, but we getting stuck in too much groupthink where people are actually sitting and waiting to see what the crowd is going to do before they do it. Everything that people are doing is basically mimicking the crowd. That's where the term meme comes from. Mimic the gimmick. Imitate. People imitate what other people do, and it's getting to the point now where if the crowd is not moving, then the individuals are not moving. If individuals are following the crowd and the crowd's not moving, well, somebody's got to institute some change because most people are not moving until they're forced to have to move. And the only thing that forces people to have to move is to stay caught up with the rest of the people that might be doing something out of a fear of getting left out. But more power to those people, but we got to take matters into our own hand, grab the bull by the horns, and go ahead and shake it up. Make some steaks, make some hamburgers. If you're vegetarian, you can use tofu. But regardless, you get the point. What we need, what we're searching for, what we're seeking is leaders. And I know there's quite a few of you out there that just need that little bit of a light on your fuse to get you sparked and going. You already demonstrate that. So that's who we're searching for. One of the challenges with the internet and the social media, once again, is it's kind of a what they call a one size fits all. It takes a thorough analysis and a little bit of thinking to be able to distinguish the followers from or the leaders from the laggers. It's the best way to say it. Not everybody that's a follower is actually a lagger. But we're going to go ahead and put this out there into the atmosphere to make sure we're fully focused. And like I told you before, those following on social media, I'm taking more of a behind the scenes role. If I see you moving, I'll go ahead and give you a little push, but you're pushing towards your goal. And that's what we need more of. The laggers, they need something to follow. They need an example for you to set. So if you're one of those example setters and trend setters, well, this is a personal message for you. You have an extremely high value and you're of the utmost importance. That's what we like who likes you, beginning with the first person that is you, and that's how we like. That's how we do like, that's how we see like, that's how we be like. So on behalf of this guy, bad name, good name, African birth certificate, American birth certificate, we keeping the show moving forward. A lot of attempts to suppress the launching of a website of all things, all this discourse and all this discord based on a website going live. Who would have figured? But we all got a job to do. Some of it call it a calling. So this is my calling out to you of the people who are in the know and ready to rock and roll with the show and take a leadership position and go ahead and move things forward and don't have a fear of change. Actually represent the change, make the change, because in economics, well, between us as friends, again, we could all stand to use a little bit more change. So other than that, I'm going to put this one specifically on the social media sites. Hopefully you tuned into it from here so that I don't go against the message and the information that's coming from up top. But that's what's really going on for people that want to be in the know. The slow up is people's reluctance and inability to change, and when it has to come by force, seldom if ever is it really good. If you don't necessarily want to come in last, well, don't always be the last person to want to do something. Try to be the first, look to be the first, and first shall be last and the last shall be first, if we want to get philosophical. But we're not going to get philosophical because we're on our feet, we keeping it moving, and we can show you better than we can tell you. So it's on with the show. Leaders reaching out to you, grassroots, face to face. Let's hit it and get it, and consider it another victory. That's why we stay at peace. One love.